Hey y'all, it's Chris and Tammy, and it's almost Easter, and I am going to show you how to make the easiest Easter cupcakes ever. And they are super cute too. So we're going to get started. So we've made some lemon cupcakes for Easter, and we're going to decorate them with some green icing. And this is a grass tip, and it's the big one. So we will be putting grass on our cupcakes. And you just kind of do your best. The biggest deal with the grass is you can't let it get dirty on the end of your tip. If you do, then it won't look like grass anymore. It'll just look like a blob. And just kind of let it fall out the edges like that so it looks like grass. Every once in a while, wipe it off. And go ahead and sprinkle them while they're still kind of wet so that the sprinkles will stick to them. So you got to do it pretty quick. And then here's our picks. And we're going to use the Easter bunnies because they're my favorite. You scoot over, little lady. There's those. Aren't they cute? All right, I showed you how to make grass, and you can do a lot of things with the grass cupcakes. You could put jelly beans on them, and you could put picks in them. But now I'm going to show you how to make a chicken cupcake. So we're going to be using a 2A Wilton tip, and this is a large writing tip, a large circle tip, okay? So you're going to keep it, the bottom part of your chicken low and big. And you may have to practice to get it to look right. Like my second ones are way prettier than my first one. We'll do one more right here. All right, and then after you get his bottom part of his body, then you're just going to do a little head. Really, if you don't want it to be smooth, you just don't pick it up at all. Now you're going to put him on some little feet. Now we are going to flatten his little head. Let me get me a little bit of water. And we're just going to dip our finger in the water and just barely touch the tip of the head. To get it down flat. And we're just going to give him, this is just a tiny little writing tip. So you're just going to put him a little beak on here. And it's just a writing tip, and you're just going to press and then release as you go down. And that way it'll look pointed on the end, just like that. Little chickens, aren't they cute? Now our next cupcakes, we're going to use a Russian flower tip. You need to practice on the table. So let me wipe off the end of this so y'all can see what this one looks like. It swirls with some tiny circles in the middle. Hold your tip up from the space about a ½ inch. Squeeze and let go. Like that. one has a lot of swirls with one single circle in the middle. And it's going to look a little different than the other ones. But you're still going to hold it the same way. So you have to hold it right up off from the edge, about a 1/2 inch. If you don't, it won't have room to make the flower petals, and it'll just look like a blob. You could practice on the countertop before you get started and get the hang of it. But the main thing is just being high enough up from the counter. You could put a drop flower in the middle, but these are so tall. These flowers are so tall that I'm going to have to make a flower that's tall enough to stand up in the middle of it. Now a rose tip is shaped like that, just a petal tip. And you use a rose nail. So you just kind of make a base. And then you put petals on it. You're going to pick it up with your scissors and put it right in the middle. And I got me some little leaves marked down the other day. They were reduced at Joann's, I think is where I was. So we'll put a couple of little leaves on here. They're pretty. They're little fondant leaves. And they're so big, we're just going to use one. So we'll try to get where my scissors messed up the side of the rose. That's where we'll put it. You're going to be using all white icing, and what you're going to do is you've got to put a little bit of white icing right in the middle of the cupcake. So I'm just going to mound a little icing because we're going to star it too, like this. Okay, we're going to make a sheep's face. So I'm just going to go back to the cupcake and try to make it as flat as you can on the top. So I'm going to get out a little bit of cornstarch, put my fingers in it, and we're just going to flatten the top. Make it like that. Because you want him to have a pretty little face. Now you can use water to do this, just like we did with the chicken head. But if you do that, you just don't want any of your colors to run. So if you do it this way, you don't have to worry about your colors running. So for the sheep, you're going to star the outside of him. And you're going to make at least 2 rows around the cupcake. And when I say star, I mean it actually looks like a 5-point star. If you're going to do these with kids, I would suggest that you get all the way this part done before they start helping. So have your little sheet ready like this, and then let the kids come in to help you, okay? These are so cute. Y'all, you're going to love them. Now what we're going to do is take this star tip off of our bag because we need to use a leaf tip to do his little ear. Now some people use the royal icing and make little ears, but y'all, this is so much simpler. Just use a large leaf tip, and this is the old-fashioned leaf tip. I think I'm gonna put his face on first, y'all, because I want to make sure that he looks right. Now he has a nose, and we're going to use a pink circle for his nose. We don't give him a mouth. Nose. You just want to kind of put it towards the bottom from wherever you're going to put his eyes. So we're just going to put him some little eyes on here. Super easy. So I would do the eyes, let the kids do the nose, and then they could help you do the ears if they wanted to. Y'all can let them put the sprinkles on the ears. So for the ear, you're just going to take your leaf tip, and you're going to make 2 ears. They're so cute. And then you're going to take a pink sprinkle and put inside the ear. And I just happen to have some pink ones. I always get these when they're marked down. So you're just going to let the kids put a pink sprinkle in the ears. Y'all, this is the easiest cupcake to do because you use white icing. And you don't have to mix up colors. Only thing you need is black. And you could get black at the grocery store in those little tubes if you wanted to. And not even have to mix it up because black is hard to mix up. Aren't they cute? I think they're darling. Now you can see the chicken's eyes are kind of pointed. And so are their legs. So once they dry a little bit, you can come back and get rid of those points. Where your icing did that. Get rid of the little points, okay? And then they're ready. Aren't they darling? Let's go get our grass ones. Okay, so we've got our grass cupcakes we did. We got the picks at Home Goods. And then we've got our beautiful Russian tip flowers. And then I made a little rose and a drop flower here. Then you've got your little sheep or lambs, whatever you want to call them for the kids. And then you've got your chickens. And they're not hard to do. Really and truly, the easiest ones are, I mean, they're super easy, all of them, seriously. So you might want to just pick one and go with it, and that way you don't have to mix up a bunch of color. And if you don't want to mix up a bunch of color, it's really easy to do the lamb. He's super easy. So I hope you've enjoyed watching our wonderful Easter cupcake video. Now when you go in Joann's and Michael's and places like that, if you do want to decorate throughout the year and you don't do a lot of it, but just a little bit, look on the reduced aisle because you'll find a lot of things that you can use that's out of season, and they'll really dress some things up, and you don't have to break the bank to do it instead of having to pay the full price. So every time you walk in there, just see what's on sale and go ahead and get it so that you're not in a pinch and have to buy it and spend a lot of money. You can always get you some icing. This icing is 32 pounds from Sam's Club. It was about $30-something. Super affordable, but you do have to place an order for it, and then you just go in and pick it up. So if you've got a Sam's card, or I'm sure Costco might do the same thing, I'm not sure, but it's so nice to be able to go in there and pick up a case of icing. As long as you keep it good and sealed, it has a pretty good shelf life too. So I've enjoyed getting to show y'all how to do some decorating, and being able to have this already ready is so convenient. And come back and see us, because here on Colored Valley Cooks, we cook like our mamas did. I make a lot of good Southern food. So check out the channel if you're new and hit that follow button. See you next time. Bye. Love ya.